Do you remember the mercury sugar of 2018's? The panic in our kitchens? The fear that every spoonful of sugar in our children's chai was laced with lead and copper? We were promised it would never happen again. But in 2026, the ghost of bad sugar has returned. This time, it's a 3 billion shilling nightmare.
Now, 4 suspects, among them 2 Kenya Bureau of Standards officials, were today arraigned in a Mombasa court and charged for allegedly allowing contaminated sugar to be taken out of the Port of Mombasa.
Indeed, these... story. Now, a multi-billion shillings sugar consignment has exposed what could be one of the most dangerous food safety breaches in recent years. Investigations have revealed that industrial-grade raw sugar meant strictly for processing is being diverted, repackaged, and quietly sold to Kenyan households. Even more alarming, regulators appear either unaware, constrained, or completely bypassed. Tonight, we ask, who is protecting the sugar cartel?
The headlines are screaming about a £3 billion sugar scam. This isn't just about lost money. It's about a system that has failed to protect the Kenyan consumer. Just like in the Mercury days, we are seeing suspicious consignments entering the country, bypassing the very checks meant to keep us safe. Investigations have revealed a web of backroom warehouses where sugar of unknown origin is being repackaged into brands you and I trust.
Billion shillings shipment of industrial sugar meant for factories has slipped into the country's food chain, quietly repackaged and sold for household use by Mombasa Sugar Refinery and KEBS Sugar Company. Documents show the sugar was imported as industrial raw material, then diverted and bagged for domestic sale, raising concerns over public health risks and lost tax revenue. Insiders say those behind the scheme enjoy protection from senior civil servants, allowing the risky products to move through the market while regulators to look the other way. That story is on pages 4 and 5. So 3 billion shillings is the additional duties and penalties if the Kenya Revenue Authority reclassifies the sugar as fit for consumption. And individuals on that who are involved, Bire Chatte, we have Raju Chatte and Jasprit Chatte. So the common denominator there is Chatte. So these individuals seem to be a family. So we talk about Bire Chatte, Raju Chatte, Jasprit Chatte, what any family. Okay?
Yeah. Why does this keep happening? Because the sugar cartels are masters of the sweet deception. They know that when the price of genuine Kenyan sugar goes up, we look for cheaper options. They fill that gap with sugar that hasn't been tested for moisture content, yeast, or, God forbid, heavy metals. The Anti-Counterfeit Authority is playing a game of whack-a-mole, seizing fake goods in Mombasa and Nairobi. But the 3 billion shilling question remains. How much of this bad sugar is already on your breakfast table?
The 4 are charged for allegedly sneaking bad sugar into the country between June and July of this year, a time when the Joint Parliamentary Trade and Agriculture Committee was probing the influx of poisoned sugar in the market. They were accused of willfully releasing 10,000 bags of brown sugar packed into 50 kilograms bags before obtaining a test result certificate from the government chemist on the suitability of the said sugar. The suspects, Samuel Onjolo Omolo and Daniel Mustahamba from the Kenya Bureau of Standards, are accused of colluding with Peter Nzoia from the Kenya Ports Health Department to sneak out the consignment from the Port of Mombasa. Other suspects include Ali Abdi Mohammed, Hassan Abdi Mohammed and Abdullahi Abdi Mohammed, the managing directors of Flora Bakers Limited and Air Menzies International companies, who are accused of colluding with the same government officers to sneak out the consignment from the port. The accused will remain in police custody until Monday next week, when the court will determine their bond terms.
The string stretching from 2018 to today shows us that we cannot rely on the system alone. In 2018, the poison was chemical. We found traces of mercury, copper and lead in sugar seized in Eastleigh and Ruiru. It was contraband. illegal imports hidden in the dark. In 2018, the government promised us strict pre-export verification. They said every bag would be tracked. Fast forward to 2026, production in our own factories, like Nzoia and Sony, has dropped by 27%. We are more dependent on imports than ever. And when we depend on imports, we depend on the cartels.
And the battle for Kenya's sugar belt has moved from the farms to the courtrooms, and farmers say they are losing. The Kenya Sugarcane Growers Association is sounding a major alarm, accusing private millers of using a wave of litigation to hijack the industry. By freezing the powers of the Kenya Sugar Board through court orders, these groups are allegedly paralyzing essential reforms and leaving thousands of families vulnerable to exploitation.
It's a danger that private interests or private millers who have for a very long time resisted reform, and we know them, have again come up with another group.
In 2026, we have 9 agencies, KRA, KEBS and the Sugar Board, all monitoring the port. Yet 1,400 tonnes of sugar still go missing or end up in the wrong bags. Whether it's mercury-laced dust or raw industrial crystals, the trick is the same. Dump it into bags that look like the brands you trust. They use our brand loyalty to poison us. The names of the scandals aren't just about money lost to the taxman. They are about the health of the Kenyan mother and child. In 2018, we asked, who brought the mercury? In 2026, we ask, who diverted the industrial sugar? The faces in the boardroom change, but the sugar on your spoon stays dangerous.
Tonight, we begin with a public warning that the sugar you are consuming could be poisonous. This after 500 metric tons of condemned contaminated sugar disappeared under mysterious circumstances from a godown where it was stored. The DCI is now pursuing leads on the whereabouts of the sugar that arrived in the country back in 2018, which could have expired by now.